happen in Opryland as opposed to, say, Oprahland. Sister Sarah will give the keynote. Michelle Bachmann will entertain you over lunch. A Tea Party convention, a gathering of independents with a thirst for freedom to take the cause to the next level. But organizers warn not all will be allowed to drink from the well. Specifically, no liberal trolls. Liberal trolls like Rachel Maddow? The group Tea Party Nation cautioning loyalists via email that as the convention nears, we will in all likelihood be invaded by liberal trolls. The email was obtained by noted Tea Party sympathizers, Talking Points Memo DC. TPM DC obtained the alert because it had signed up for the organization's listserv. It's a foolproof system, apparently. The email continues, Rachel Maddow joined this morning and we banned her 7 minutes after she joined. I have little doubt she will mention this on her show. Turns out my colleague did not try to join. In fact, the Tea Party Nation made the whole thing up as a publicity stunt. The good-natured Ms. Maddow responded, I'm flattered that the Tea Party folks think I'm well-known enough to help their cause. Still, Tea Party paranoia goes further. Note to prospective liberal trolls, TPN does not tolerate liberal trolls. If your sole purpose is to join the site in order to disrupt the flow of constructive dialogue against liberalism, you will find your time here very short. If you wish to debate the virtues of liberalism as though there were such a thing, there are many other sites on the web who will tolerate you. Time now to call in MSNBC political analyst Richard Wolff, also the author of Renegade, The Making of a President. Richard, good evening.
Good evening, Keith.
I'm seeing a little disconnect here. The Tea Party Nation, the principal element of this, we're explained to time and time again, is not teabagging, but the party of every man, but not everyone. How does that work?
I'm beginning to fear these people are giving tea parties a bad name. We thought they were channeling the Boston tax revolt, but it turns out it's the Mad Hatter after all. You should check out their website because there's some blogs and discussion boards I think you'll find very interesting. They reek of tolerance. There's the one about have communists infiltrated our government. That's next to what looks like a picture of Joe McCarthy. Another one is FEMA death camps and martial law. If they have any ideological basis to this movement, it's ripped from the Libertarian Party, but there's not much libertarianism going on here.
And it sounds like it's also ripped from the headlines of 1954 as well. That's the other good news. Good news travels fast. They are organized enough to hold a convention. Why add to this by, I mean, it is whatever else you think of it, whether it was grown naturally or, bought and sold by lobbyists. They built this thing up fairly quickly and yet are, going out to send out paranoid emails and lie about Rachel Maddow trying to join, which are so easily disproved. Why bother with the little stuff?
Well, it's agitprop, it's stunts. This isn't actually, for all the language about building a movement, if they really wanted to replicate what, say, the Obama campaign did, they'd say, we are actually open to independents and people on the other side. Remember, that was part of the pitch of the Obama movement. These people may have forgotten, thinking that he's a socialist, communist, fascist, but the idea of reaching out to the other side is how you build a movement. This isn't about that. It's about revving up a disillusioned base, and the shocking thing is that in this disillusioned, angry time, when people are upset with established parties, these people are active. They're going to show up and vote. And, if the other side doesn't get its act together, they are going to be outnumbered because people are going to stay at home. These people are not going to stay at home.
Sarah Palin is scheduled to give the keynote address, and if she shows up, the Washington Independent's pegging her speaking fee at a minimum of $75,000. If she were to go instead to the CPAC convention at roughly the same time, she wouldn't get a dime. Is this why she chose this one, or am I just being too cynical?
I don't know, Keith. I mean, if she'd stayed in Alaska and served the public interest in her term out as governor, she'd have gotten no money at all either. So she's clearly part of that entrepreneurial spirit that this party movement is seeking here. She's proven pretty well adept at raising money for herself, if not for anyone else.
But again, her presence and the price that going to see her talk, which is, I think, what you do. You don't go to listen, you go to see her talk.
Right.
Is $349 plus $200 to attend the rest of the convention. If you didn't go to the convention and you saved your $549, wouldn't you have just addressed most of the problems that the Tea Party people are complaining about in the first place?
Yeah, that is more than the price of a cup of tea, isn't it? It's a strange way to build a movement, to put money in the pockets of Sarah Palin, but she does have a big family.
Back to Rachel for a second. This is kind of a badge of honor here, isn't it? I mean, is she the next Hillary Clinton or what? And she's listening, by the way, as whatever your response is.
Rachel's numbers and her show speaks for itself, but in case she doesn't want to speak for herself, let's do it for her. It's a badge of honor to be something of a stimulant to a group of overstimulated people. Maybe they should have decaffeinated tea.
They asked Ed Schultz to run for Senate. Rachel is a stalking horse for the Tea Party people. Matthews in Pennsylvania. And for crying out loud, Harold Ford was asked, might run for something. What do I get in the deal?
There is a sports commissioner's post waiting for you.
Like I said, what do I get in the deal? Richard Wolff of MSNBC, author of Renegade, as always. Great thanks.
Thank you, Keith.